And so we took a stance, gave the middle finger to the pharmaceutical companies and said, your product is crap. And the funny thing is, pharmaceutical companies not only came after us, but doctors started to hate us too. We were having people go through this protocol and they were coming back to us and saying, I've had a crick in my neck for 40 years and it is gone now. We were prescribing this product 10 to 20 times a day and they increased the price from $30 to $300.
What?
My mom just found out, kept asking me what I'm gonna do for money. What are you gonna do for money? Mom, it's okay, we got it figured out. And I still, 10% of the world's population is blind just due to lack of glasses.
This is the Aaron Cordovez Show.
All right, everybody. Here we are today with Dr. Travis Zigler, a man who knows so much about the eyeballs, okay? About dry eye, itchy eye, horrible things with your eyes. And not only that, but an Amazon guru, an ads master. He's managing many Amazon ads. He also exited his company in 2021, or was it 2021?
2021.
Right. Yeah. So, Travis, welcome to the show.
Aaron, pleasure to be here. Excited to get in with your audience and give them a bunch of value, and excited to talk to you because we haven't chatted in like 3 years or so.
Yeah, it's been a while. It has been a while. I think when we talked, you still hadn't exited. You were still like in the talks, maybe, or something like that. So
I think last time we talked, you were a crazy, huge business that has taken off like a rocket ship.
Oh yeah, it's true. I mean, hey, that's probably correct. Yeah, because that was buddy pre-COVID. I mean, we started blowing up, I guess, around that COVID area. Which, by the way, is the reason we haven't taken these like ARC credits. I'm sure you get so many emails, this employment or whatever credits, because I go, listen, our business grew in revenue on COVID. So there's people who are like, no, it doesn't matter. This, I'm like, it does matter. That's what you're signing away your life to. So
it's ethics.
Yeah, I'm like, guys, come on, like, employment, anyway, whatever. We don't need to get into that, but I already did. Okay, so how did you start on your Amazon thing? Because you actually are like a real certified actual doctor, right? And you like had a practice and like they were seeing people's eyes or whatnot or something like that, right? So actually, just take me back to what the hell happened and how'd you get the Amazon opportunity in your mind?
I think we should just go back to when I graduated from optometry school in 2010 and started working for my uncle. And I worked in a family practice and I was hoping to take over that family practice one day. It was Dr. Zigler, and Zigler in this practice.
Oh, wow. Whoa. 4? That's you, your uncle, who else? Your brother or something?
My uncle, myself, my cousin, and my wife.
Wow.
So yeah, it was good. I loved it. I had a lot of fun, but I burnt out really fast from optometry. And I just felt like I needed to do more. I felt the itch. I didn't know what the itch was. It was the entrepreneur bug. And I went to my uncle one day and I was like, hey, I bought 2 practices. I'm moving from Ohio to South Carolina and it's just something I have to do. And he was like, you're going to do great. You're an entrepreneur. And I was like, I don't even know what an entrepreneur is.
Wow. That's a great response because you're basically quitting. You're signing a resignation, right? And
yeah.
So,
he was very supportive though of the whole thing. I gave him a 3-month notice. So it wasn't like I just said, hey, I'm quitting today. It was a 3-month notice to help get somebody else in. And then moved to South Carolina, started 2 practices, went from seeing 6 patients.
Wait, you started
an hour,
or you started or you bought them? You bought them or you started it?
I call it a negative start because the doctor that we bought them from was an alcoholic and the patients were declining rapidly. And so it was a business that did 400,000, 300,000, 100,000. And the year we bought it, it had done like 80,000 that year.
Oh.
So declining incredibly fast. So I call it a negative start. It wasn't really, we started it. We didn't start it, but we had to start over. And we bought it for pretty much nothing. We bought the guy's house too. So we gave him a package deal he couldn't refuse. That's a story for a whole nother day. His house was pretty much a fraternity house. It was disgusting when we moved in. He hadn't moved out when we got there. And the practice was even worse shape than we saw. But we learned a ton from this situation.
How did this guy pitch you this? Did you find him or he found you?
We found him actually, and we went down to visit him, and he dressed it up very nicely when we went down to visit him, and then we made him an offer. But then once we got down there, that's when we realized we might have made a mistake, but it led us to here. So it's not a mistake. It was just a learning opportunity.
Wow. So when you say the patients were declining, this means number of patients, not like the patients started drinking alcohol with him.
Probably both. So yes, but the number of patients were declining. So think about like lifetime value, customer success. You guys probably measure all those in your business. And retention is one of the biggest things you can measure in your business. And the same thing happens in practices. It's client patient retention. And the higher that is, the more successful you're going to be in practice. And that's true in e-commerce as well. So we pretty much had to redo our presence in the community, let them know that he's gone, we're here now, things are going to change. We made it more of a high-end practice with lots of high-end frames, and we only prescribed the best glasses that were out on the market, but we also served that community in need too. So the Medicaid client as well in a high-end environment. So it was a unique practice. I'd never run anything like it in my life, but the key to it was I went from seeing 6 patients an hour at my uncle's to seeing 1 patient an hour here because we were starting this brand new essentially. And I got incredibly bored. And you're familiar with this course, Amazing Selling Machine. It's a course that was big back when we started in 2015. I was ASM 4, and we ended up buying that in May of the year we started the practice because we knew we wanted to have kids and we knew we wanted something to do while we were at home. So my wife and I purchased it, followed the training, and we actually started a sunglass company first. And we ended up growing that sunglass company to about 3.2 million over the course of the next couple of years.
Wow.
But as you know, if you're in like a commodity space, you've done it incredibly well. It's because you have a team and you are obsessed with Amazon, you're obsessed with growing your business. And I respect you a lot because of what you've done in this space. And
yeah, I mean, ours is like, you can't get more commodity than like, a garlic press, right?
Yes.
But yeah.
I mean, that was everybody's example back then, and it still is today. But you became obsessed with it, and you hired people that were obsessed with it. You hired people that were going to figure it out and pretty much blow up your business. And that's how you've become so successful, is because you hired other people, but you yourself are obsessed with product and with growing your business. And in our space, in the sunglass space, I just noticed like I didn't want to sell a commodity. And so I started pivoting. And what we did is we started using our profits from our sunglass company to build a dry eye company. And so we started pivoting using our profit and started growing an audience in dry eye. We didn't have any products for it. All we did was we started going live on Facebook and talking about dry eye. And we just started building an audience. And that's all we did during that time. But ASM was to answer your initial question, ASM was what initially brought us into this Amazon space back in 2015.
The big pitch, the affiliate. Was it a friend of yours that got you into it, or you saw a random ad, or?
I was in Robert Kiyosaki's mailing list from Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Oh.
He teamed up with Dave Kettner, and then I bought it through Dave Kettner's affiliate.
Interesting. Wow. So Kiyosaki. Okay. Yeah, he sold a lot of that ASM.
Dream 100.
Okay. That's amazing. Okay. Now, I know dry eye, like I actually heard recently there was a guy or a team or somebody who invented like some sort of laser that like got your eye and like dry eye is gone. Or something like it's a new innovative whatever thing. It's either laser or like a something, but it's not like permanent. So it's kind of like in theory gonna like disrupt the whole space of like the drops, because the drops you have to use kind of forever, no?
Yeah, so we took a stance in dry eye, and that's how we grew our audience. We took a stance in more natural and holistic medicine, so functional medicine approach to dry eye, whereas in like I think what you're thinking of is LipiFlow or MiboFlow, which is just like intense heat and pressure applied to your eyelids, and your eyelids have these. We're going to get into an eye anatomy lesson here real quick, but your eyelids have oil glands, and these oil glands produce oil to secrete onto your eye. Those get clogged because of our crappy diet that we have here in the Western Hemisphere and all over the world. And what this does is it unclogs the glands. It does not solve the problem though. It's still just covering up the problem, just like drops are. So prescription drops cover a problem of inflammation. And so what you're doing is you're just getting the inflammation to go away, but you're not getting to the source of the inflammation, which is almost 100% your diet. And so we took a stance, and pretty much gave the middle finger to the pharmaceutical companies and said,
Mm-hmm.
your product is crap, and we need to teach people how to holistically heal this. And the funny thing is, pharmaceutical companies not only came after us and hated us, but doctors started to hate us too. They're like, what are you
For
doing
real?
teaching your patients? Oh, yeah. That we were teaching our patients how to heal their dry eye naturally. And therefore, they wouldn't need any products in the meantime if they did it naturally. But we have these products over here that are organic and natural that you can use in the meantime until the functional medicine starts to fully kick in. And so that was kind of our big stance
Interesting.
that we took with this whole thing.
And then did you is there some sort of diet also? Like, did you ever get into like supplements or like something that would you or just, hey, don't eat McDonald's, or like what was your approach in the nutritional side? Did you talk about that too?
So we kept it incredibly simple at first because people don't like being told what they don't like to do or what they can't do. And so
Yep.
all we did is we said, step one, replace your breakfast with a green smoothie. Here's a simple green smoothie: handfuls of spinach, water, protein powder, and that's it. And we use plant-based protein. Step two, drink water. Make sure you stay hydrated.
Wow.
Step three, how to sleep better by eliminating screens an hour before bedtime, wearing blue blockers, and just getting into a deeper sleep, turning your phone into airplane mode, putting it in another room, and then finally, stress less. And so we taught one or two stress techniques that they could use to reduce anxiety and reduce stress. And it was simple stuff. I mean, those four were the core of our functional medicine thing because we didn't want to get too much into it. And then we'd go more advanced after that, and we talk about things to avoid in your diet, things to not eat as much of in your diet. And then we talked about exercise, of course. But it all goes back to diet. In medicine, diet is the biggest thing that you can do for your body to decrease inflammation. If you have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, arthritis, anything, diet is the cause of it almost 99% of the time. And so we were having people go through this protocol, and they were coming back to us and saying, I've had a crick in my neck for 40 years and it is gone now. And so it was just inflammation.
Wow.
So it was pretty cool
That's
to make an
incredible.
impact like that. And we ended up gaining a following of over about 150 to 200,000 people across YouTube, email list, Facebook groups, things like that. And it was just people that wanted more because they weren't getting the results that they wanted out of Western medicine. And I'll just continue the story a little bit. That's how we came out with our first product, because we were prescribing this product in our office 10 to 20 times a day. And they increased the price from $30 to $300, and it was a prescription medication.
What?
Yeah. And they controlled the market. There's nobody else on the market. And somebody came to me and they're just like, you're an entrepreneur, figure this out. So I looked at it and I was like, it can't be that hard to make. So I just started looking for manufacturers, found one that made the purest form of this product, and they've never done private label. We were on the phone 3 days after this patient came in, and we were manufacturing within a week. That product launched our dry eye brand, and we ended up getting that product to about 200 sales a day.
Wow. But you weren't selling for 300?
No, we were selling it for 15.
Wow, that is crazy. And same active ingredient, or what? What is this thing? I mean, I don't know. We can geek out on it. Like, is it active ingredient? Is it homeopathic? What was this thing?
Can't say any of those just due to
you can't.
We didn't ever get the monograph or anything. But I mean, I can now because I don't own the company, but it's hypochlorous
What's
acid.
a monograph? I'm sorry.
And
what's a monograph?
So like, let's say, so an FDA monograph is like, if I'm going to come out with a drop that says sty on the box, there is a certain monograph that the FDA says it has to have these ingredients in order for you to say sty on the box. So we worked on getting that, but we never ended up getting it by the time we sold. FDA is nuts.
Okay,
it's strict for a reason, but it's overly strict.
Wow. So it's technically then not for a sty. Technically, a sty is what? Dude, I'm so confused. Hold on. What the hell is a sty? Is that an eyeball? No.
Sty is just a fancy word for an eyelid bump. And going back to those oil glands that we talked about earlier, those oil glands become clogged. And if they become clogged and infected, that is a sty. And so you've probably
Oh,
seen people with like an eyelid bump and it looks really
yeah.
red and irritated. That's a sty.
Okay, so a sty. So if you're saying, hey, this will do something for sty, you have it in there at all, you have to have XYZ compounds in that. Otherwise, it's not considered to do anything for sty because not a study that they've approved or that is financially beneficial for the groups on the board.
Exactly.
And so yours didn't, in the end, does not say sty drops, although maybe that was what it was intended for. It just said like eye drops, generic, or what?
So it wasn't an eye drop, it was a spray. And
Oh, a spray.
we had to call it an eyelid cleanser. And so we had to teach you couldn't spray it right on, even though you can, because we didn't have that approval. But you had to spray it on a cotton round and then wipe your eyelid. And I think like the number one thing I want to say about this product is it worked, number one, but number two, we were so convicted on this product, just like you are with your brand, and conviction
Yep.
sells. I had to
Yes.
I had to convince people to buy acid and spray it on their eyes. And we sold 200 bottles a day because we were so
Wow.
convicted on this product because it worked. It worked incredibly well. People got instant relief from it. Can't say that either, but they got instant relief from it
Right.
and they got
Right.
long-term benefits from it as well.
Interesting. So yeah, this will get shut down. This video, but wow. And
I'm not the owner of
it's
the
so
company anymore, so we're
regulated.
good.
Yeah, so it's not a big deal. Like, and plus, people said that is not necessarily a claim. Although nowadays it becomes a claim. Like people say that, like, hey, one person happened. Normally, that's not considered a claim, like legally back many years ago. But nowadays, by saying that, you can get in trouble too, which is bizarre because you're literally stating a fact. Anyway, interesting. And so, what was on the listing and the page? How did you show the conviction that you're talking about?
Videos. And so we made a ton of videos. This is before short form video came out. We did a lot of long form video. We would go live anywhere from 3 to 5 times a week and do long form Q&As where we'd get a question in the community. We'd just go live, answer the question, and it'd usually be like a 5 to 20 minute video. We did that over and over and over again until we built this audience up and everybody would be like, what is this product? Like why do you guys keep talking about it? And then we would do like a free plus shipping offer, not on Amazon, on our own website. But
Oh, so this is a D2C proper. What was the D2C like website versus Amazon kind of sales ratio?
75-25. So 75% Amazon, 25% Shopify.
Okay. Hey, 25%, dude, if I got 25% on my Shopify, I would be ecstatic. So, wow.
I think you're doing all right
So
on the
you-
Amazon.
so
You
you-
can just stick with that.
So you're talking about this, you're going live on YouTube, on Facebook, on everything.
Everything we could. So this is before like streaming platforms were out. So we'd go live on Facebook and then we'd turn around and do the exact same live on YouTube. And so nowadays I have StreamYard and I go live on 6 platforms all at once every single Monday. And it's great because your reach is exponential compared to what we used to have to do to go live. Because live was huge back then. It's still big, but it's not as big as like shorts now,
Right.
or reels or whatever you want to call them. But we'd just go live on YouTube and then we turn around and go live on Facebook. And we just do that all the time. So we were doing a lot of videos.
And what were you doing with these? Like, how did you get people to watch them? They just kind of found you anyway with some keywords or something? Did you have any sort of exact strategy to get people to see, or it's like make good videos and they're going to come kind of mentality?
We had no idea what we were doing. And I don't even know if I
Okay.
still do it after doing like thousands of videos. We just make the content because you just want to provide value. And yes, getting into the data and doing all that is great. But when you provide great content, it will get seen and it will get shared. And so one of the big things that we do is we just kept going live. And eventually Facebook starts to show you. There was nobody on our first couple of videos, probably for 6 months. So we'd go live 3 to 5 times a week and there was nobody on them. And then
Are you serious? So you'd go live for all this time and nobody comes on and you just do it anyway. You just keep going.
You just keep going. And that's one of our biggest fears we have with video creation is that nobody's going to show up for it. And do it for yourself more than anything else. Do it because you believe in the mission that you're trying to serve. and just keep doing it. I have a following of anywhere between like 10 to 20,000 people online now in the Amazon FBA selling world. And
Yeah.
I still put stuff out there that gets like 20 views. And do I care? No, I barely look at the
Wow.
stats, but occasionally I'll look and I'll be like, wow, that only got 20 views. That sucked. And so we'll learn from it and then just make it better next time.
Wow. And that's you're talking about now posting reels in this case, or you're talking about lives again? In this like 20 view
I
thing.
do
Like
both.
what are you
So I do
posting now?
live every Monday. Yeah, live every Monday. Post a repeat video every Thursday. So like one of my lives just reformatted. And then
Okay.
every day we'll post a short on YouTube, a TikTok, an Instagram reel, a Facebook reel, and a LinkedIn video.
Every day. That's amazing.
I have been burned on so many investment opportunities, Ponzi schemes, crypto, which to me, they're not all that much different. Anyway, here's the thing. I've gotten burned over and over. So I wanted to create a vehicle for accredited investors to put their money in a place that has a huge potential upside and a low possibility of a downside. That is our fund. Go to aaroncordovez.com/invest to find out if it's right for you. With Amazon ads continually increasing in price, what is going to be your competitive edge? At Samurai Seller, we've created a software that helps you take control of your Amazon ads, not just with ad tools, but tools for analytics into your business and your profitability to make sure that you're always increasing in sales and in profit. Try it for an entire month for free on me. SamuraiSeller.com/start and get a free month of the cutting edge Samurai Seller software for Amazon performance.
So, okay, so are you able to talk about how much you sold your company for, by the way? Or is that
I can't.
NDA kind of thing?
I can say that it
Okay.
is north of multi-millions and south of 8 figures.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Well, I mean, hey, multiple millions of dollars. That's spectacular. What does your uncle say about all this?
I don't know if he knows much about it. Like, he knows that I started the company. He knows that I sold the company. I don't know if he knows how much I sold it for. My mom just found out, like, because she kept asking me what I'm going to do for money. And she's like, wait, you're selling your company? Wait, you're quitting practice? I quit practice in 2017. And she's like, you're quitting practice. What are you going to do for money? I was like, we got this online thing figured out. Then when we sold this business, she's like, wait, you're selling your business? Like, what are you going to do for money? I'm just like, Mom, it's okay. We got it figured out. And I still have my agency, which that's the only thing I'm focused on now. And it's does well. I mean, we have multiple clients and we're starting a software as well around inventory management. But it's just funny because this world is like an imaginary world to the rest of the world.
Mhm.
And nobody realizes how much money you can really make online until, like, it was funny this last Thanksgiving. My niece follows me on TikTok and she started watching my videos and I talk about how much I've made. And,
Yeah.
I have posters in the back that Inc. 5000 and ClickFunnels 2 Comma Club Award and $1 Million Merchant from Zipify. And I go over those and how to earn those by serving people on my reels. And she's watching them full volume with everybody hearing it in Thanksgiving. So I'm just like, well, I guess everybody knows now. But I put it out there because I don't care. I don't care.
Wow. So is she asking you for advice? Now, how old is your niece?
She's 14, but no, she just makes fun of me because she says I am TikTok famous with all 150 followers that I have right now.
Wow. Yeah, dude, the TikTok followers are tough. I don't know what's up with the TikTok. I mean, I'm terrible at it, so I got to figure that out. But okay. So, how is your agency? You're managing ads primarily, or you're doing full service?
So we don't do full service Amazon. It ends up being full service, but we mostly do Amazon PPC using an 80/20 method I learned from Cherie Yvette. I think you remember Cherie from back in the day. She's amazing at PPC. And she was my mentor for years. And so we follow her strategy. And we've been doing that for now 4 or 5 years. And it works incredibly well. And so PPC is our bread and butter. But then another big component of us is we do Google Ads for clients, but we do Google Ads a little differently. We'll do Google Ads direct to the product page listing, which everybody talks about, and you can use softwares for that. But we also do Google Ads to a blog post, and that blog post talks about a problem that your product solves. and it will talk about your product after, and then it will go over to Amazon to buy.
Oh, and do
The
you write
reason,
these blog posts?
well, I used to write them myself, but now we have AI, which makes it a lot easier and faster.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Okay, so then you
focusing
send
around
them
the
from there to Amazon.
problem,
Yeah, you go ahead.
yeah, so focusing around the problem that your product solves versus like the product keyword itself. And I'll give an example here in just a little bit. Cost per clicks are so much less because people aren't going after problem-based keywords because those are research-based keywords. So conversion rate's going to be a little lower, but you're going to get a lot of people on your listing. So an example of this would be eyelid wipes. We sold eyelid wipes. Eyelid wipes is a product-based keyword. Higher cost per click, higher bid. But if I go after what problem the eyelid wipes solve, we'll use Sty as an example again. Sty, much lower cost per click. We can get volume onto our website, which we then can repixel them, get an email address, and get them to go buy on Amazon. So it's an advertorial, essentially.
Wow.
It educates them and then pre-sells them to go buy it on Amazon.
That's brilliant. And we could see examples of that on the ilove.com, or like, where can I see
Not
that
anymore.
in action? Or no?
A good place to go is the I Believe Foundation. That's our charity. And so if you go to ibelieve.foundation, I like an eyeball, EYE, ibelieve.foundation, and you go to the blog section at the bottom, you can then see some of the blogs that we're writing. And there's only 7 blogs up there because what we're doing with that is we get a Google Ads grant, and that Google Ads grant gives us $10,000 a month in free Google Ads. And we send it to that blog post, and we become a preferred affiliate for the brands that we talk about on there. And I don't call it an affiliate, I call it a preferred donor. And so when we refer them revenue and refer them sales, they donate back to our charity. So we make anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 for our charity doing that per month. But you can do this for your profit business too. We just do it for the nonprofit because we don't have a business anymore. We don't have an e-commerce business, but we also do this for our clients as well.
Right.
And so that's another aspect that we do.
And so
is we do it on the for-profit and the nonprofit side.
Wow. And I saw that you mentioned you kind of help people set up the nonprofit. And I'm assuming, I don't know much about a nonprofit in terms of setting it up or even how it qualifies you, but so that money, that entity, the foundation, gets income, and then that goes toward writing more blog posts and doing more like, where does that money end up? Like, what happens to it?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So our mission for the I Believe Foundation started well before I Love and well before I was even an optometrist. I was actually in optometry school, went on a mission trip, and my first mission trip was in Ecuador. I've done 14 since, and we serve anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 patients at these mission trips. And for those that don't know, there are 1 billion people blind due to lack of glasses. And so a pair of glasses that you and I can pick up at the store.
How many?
1 billion with a B, billion.
What? I can't even fathom
10%.
This.
Yeah, 10% of the world's population is blind just due to lack of glasses. So when I fit my first pair of glasses on somebody that could never see, like, you could imagine your life's changed a little bit because they just start crying and they start hugging you. And these are people that thought they were going blind, but they just needed a pair of reading glasses.
Wow.
So and that's what the money goes
Hold on,
towards.
one question, because I want to know about this mission. How'd you get on the mission? Is this with a religious group, or what kind of mission is this?
It's called VOSH, Volunteers for Optometric Services to Humanity. And there's a student version of that. And so when I was a second-year optometry student, I just wanted to go to Ecuador. I just wanted to go check out a cool, different country because I'd never been out of the country. And it changed my life.
Wow. Okay, so there's a group of people, this entity you're talking about, and they get optometry students, bring them to a nation not of the United States, and you fit glasses on essentially poor people.
Exactly. So
I'm guessing, right?
We do it here in the United States too, but most of our mission work is focused in the Caribbean, Jamaica being our main place that we go. And then we've done Ecuador, Peru, Mexico, the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, Antigua, just all over the Caribbean.
Wow. So walk me through that time with that first time that you changed someone's life right there in the flesh.
We pulled up, I think it was day 3 of clinic in Ecuador, and there's this guy with just a raging red eye. His eye was red. You could tell he was in pain. He was just kind of keeled over in pain. And so I went and got him out of the line and brought him to the front. And what he did is he had a pressure of about 81. And normal pressure is anywhere between 15 and 20. So
Wow.
4 times the pressure in your eye. So your eye is a rigid structure. It doesn't have much flexibility. So it's pressing out and causing all this pressure, which is causing his headaches. He unfortunately was blind in that eye already, because when you have high pressure like that, it causes glaucoma, which is where the nerve that connects your eye to your brain pretty much gets so damaged that you can no longer see. And so he was already blind, and that's irreversible. We couldn't get that back, but we could save his other eye. So his other eye had glaucoma, had high pressure, but not as high, but he was starting to go blind from it. So we gave him drops and oral medications to bring down that pressure into the 20s, scheduled him for surgery to have surgery to bring the pressure down even further, and gave him a year's worth of medications to help save his other eye and to keep the pain away. This was a guy that was in his 80s, hard-nosed guy, farmer, blue-collar worker. And when I got done with him, we also fit him with glasses to help him see better too. He dropped to his knees, said, "God bless you, God bless you, God bless you," and just hugged me. And
Wow.
like that instant, my life was changed. I was just like, this is what I want to do the rest of my life. And that was how we
Wow.
formed our mission for our foundation.
That's just amazing. Are you sponsoring people now to go and do these trips, or?
Yeah, so we sponsor 2 scholarships with the school for people to go on these trips. We give the 2 scholarships to Ohio State. That's where we went to optometry school, on people that align with our mission. But we also do 2 to 3 of these a year, and we help fund 3 to 4 of these a year. And so every spring, we go somewhere in like Central or South America. Peru and Mexico are our 2 spots mostly. Every summer, we do a Caribbean island, not Jamaica. And then every October, we do 2 trips in Jamaica.
Wow. That's incredible. That is just incredible. I have to say, that gives me a bit of hope for, like, I guess, college in general. Because sounds like that experience was phenomenal for you, just going to school and being exposed to such a great group going to college. No, I mean, that's how you found out about all this, no?
I would have never met my wife. I would have never formed a dry eye company. So as much as I don't agree with all of college, that's what, I mean, that's how I got here. And so when my kids ask me, should I go to college? I'll say it's completely up to what you want to do with your life. But I will teach you how to be an entrepreneur. And if you want to go be a doctor or an attorney, then you're going to have to obviously go to college. But it was the best 7 years of my life. Well, maybe not, but it was like really good 7 years. I can't say that because my wife might hear me or something, but that's how I met my wife. So it was 7 years. It was a blast.
That's great. Yeah, I think people a lot of times go now like literally to have fun. That's kind of like a big benefit. Like, I mean, you're already in a group, right? Like a lot of time, I think that a lot of people don't decide what they're going to do with their life, so they're floating. You know, there's like kind of this floating, and you can float toward the college because that's going to be more entertaining than if you're going to go to a job that you hate with people that you don't like in a toxic environment where you can't make any decisions and have no room for growth. If that's going to be your life, damn, college is going to be like a reprieve, right? You're going to be like so happy there because you're about to go into a life that's horrible. Anyway, I know it's like it's such an interesting view, but I do think that is one of the reasons college is so attractive, is because life in general can seem not attractive to so many people in this modern age where a lot of people don't pursue their dreams and have given up on them. So I know that's my take on it. I don't know.
It's pretty funny because college is one of those things that our parents' generation, it wasn't really that big of a deal if you went to college or not, and not a lot of people did. And then our generation, tons of people started going to college because it was like the next step. And then with our kids being small, I know you have some little ones as well, like their generation is going to probably do the opposite again. Like they're going to be like, why do I need college? and they're not going to go to college as a result of like this shift. And so colleges are in trouble. I mean, the next 20 years is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think so. Possibly. We'll see there's so much money invested in there, the endowment funds and everything, that there's, they'll figure something out probably. Anyway, so, okay. What is some ad strategies, right? Let's just talk about ads a bit, right? As you know, we have Samurai Seller, right? The ad platform. And we have a lot of tools for people to use. We have some automation as well. Now, what are some like ad tips that you would suggest, right, on Amazon, or kind of what are just best practices that you follow?
Yeah. So it's funny because like Amazon ads is more complicated than it's ever been before. There's so much that you
That is
can
right.
do and learn and just keep doing. But the problem is like, that's not going to get you anywhere. And my number one tip I give to every single seller is you need to figure out your 80-20 of everything. And the fact of the matter is that 20% of your products are producing 80% of your revenue. 20% of your ads are producing 80% of your revenue. And if you dig down a little deeper, 20% of your search terms and 20% of your ASINs that you're targeting are producing 80% of your revenue. It's the 80-20 law. And when you focus your advertising around that, you're going to increase your profits because you're just going after your best sellers with the best search terms. And what that does is it increases your organic rank because you're going after high converting, high sales velocity search terms. And you're not wasting your budget and your money on all the other search terms that are in your account. I'll give you an example. Today, we were auditing one of our clients' accounts. We do this every week. We audit our clients' accounts together as a team. And we don't do every client every week, but we pick 2 to 3 every single week just to audit together. And we were looking at one and we were just doing a massive cleanup. And we literally got rid of, they had like 300 campaigns running, bigger client. And we literally narrowed it down to like 60 campaigns because the rest of the campaigns were making like 1 sale every 30 days or 0 sales over 30 days or 2 sales over 30 days. And those aren't contributing to sales velocity. What you're looking for is you're looking to focus and dump more money into those search terms that are making 3 to 4 to 5 to 10 to 50 sales a day. And that's where you put all your money. So that's like my number one tip I give to anybody, especially new sellers and especially even seasoned sellers, because you kind of lose sight of all that when you start to grow. You just kind of keep growing for growth's sakes. When you just take a step back, look at the 80-20, and you can really focus on increasing your profits.
I like that. That's great. And when you do like these campaigns that you don't focus on, are you archiving them? You're pausing them? What do you do with the ones that are, I guess, the bottom ones?
We'll usually pause them, and then every quarter we'll look to archive. But usually we just pause and then move on. So we'll do like a monthly cleanup on accounts just to get rid of those lower velocity or no velocity campaigns. And then, we'll just archive at the end of every quarter and then look for those that we did archive. We'll look for some campaigns that maybe trickled off. So like they were high velocity and then they kind of trickled off. Very common in seasonality products where with seasonality products, you kind of need to go back to the year before to then relaunch them again the next year. And a lot of people don't do that with seasonality. They pretty much start all over, which is crazy. And you can just go back to the search term report from sunglasses was our first product. So we learned this very well. Every June, we'd save that search term report for the following April to launch again.
Nice. Okay, cool. And what about like creatives, right? So there's one piece where, on Facebook, on TikTok, on other places where you're going to advertise, creative is like everything. And on Amazon, for a long while, there was no creatives. Now there are. What can we do to have better headline ads? What can we do to have better video ads? And how much time do you put on these things?
All right. Unpopular opinion here. Ignore sponsored brands and sponsored display and just focus on sponsored products. Again, going to 80-20, like 80% of your sales are coming from sponsored products. So why not just focus on those? And then but instead we spend all this time on the creative, like video and photos and all of this. But really, sponsored products is driving almost everything. Now, thank you for asking that though, because we don't completely ignore it. We just wait, because we get your sponsored products rocking, we get them scaling, and then we'll move on to sponsored brands. And one of the biggest things that you can do for sponsored brands and with videos and with headline search ads is that I still call them headline search ads just because that's what I grew up with.
Yeah, of course.
But
I know they're better. It's a better name.
Yeah, I agree. But you have to read the customer's mind. And so single keyword ad campaigns are huge. So if the customer, let's say the keyword is sty treatment, we're going to stay with the eyes. Sty treatment, you can't say this because FDA structure function claims, but we'll ignore that for now. The customer's searching sty treatment. They see a headline search ad that says sty treatment right in the headline. High click-through rate. And then you have a picture with a sty. So that's an example of single keyword ad groups or single keyword ad campaigns where you read the customer's mind. Sty treatment with a sty picture, sty treatment in the headline, clicking over to your product for styes. And if you want to go, let's just go with a more legal one. Let's just do eyelid wipes. Eyelid wipes they search for. Eyelid wipes in the headline search or in the headline with a picture of eyelid wipes. And then all three products are eyelid wipes. The more granular you can make all your advertising, the better it's going to do. Because what happens is when you read the customer's mind, it increases your click-through rate. And when you increase your click-through rate, your cost per click goes down. And the reason that is because Amazon will show you more because it gets more clicks. Because
that's right.
Amazon,
kind of like their revenue per impression.
Exactly. Yes. And so if you look at Amazon ads as a separate entity than Amazon ads is in the business of selling clicks. Google ads is in the business of selling clicks. So if you have a high click-through rate, they make a lot more money. Compare that to Amazon, the shopping search engine. Amazon is in the business of making sales. So if you have a high conversion rate and you have sales velocity, you're going to shoot up to the top. And that's how you increase your rank. So you have to just think about what the platform wants. And that's what you have to optimize for.
Get a whole lot of clicks. Yeah. Wow. I've never looked at it in quite that way. The business of selling clicks. That's a good tagline.
Can I give you one more quick example?
Absolutely.
So with Google Ads, I have an ad running and it was for sty treatment. And it was sty treatment was the keyword. Our ad was how to get rid of a sty. So you're searching for sty, how to get rid of it, kind of what you want. And it went to an article called 2 Simple Steps on How to Get Rid of a Sty. And our click-through rate was around 35%, which is amazing on Google Ads. Usually 5% is good. So our cost per click started around 35 cents. And as our click-through rate started climbing to that 35%, our cost per click started going down drastically. Eventually, we got that click-through rate up to 44% by adding a photo into your Google Ads, which you can do, by adding dynamic keywords, which you can do. And that increased us to 44% click-through rate. So Google was like, if I show this ad 100 times, 44 people are going to click on it. Our cost per click went from that 40 cents-ish, 35 to 40 cents range, all the way down to 6 cents a click. We then were getting 11,000 clicks a week to that blog post because Google showed it as much as possible because of that high click-through rate. And we were getting 11,000 visitors a week at 6 cents a click.
Wow, that is crazy. That is crazy. Okay.
It's granularity.
And the 2 steps were like 1, have a green smoothie in the morning, and then 2, get the eye drops.
No, so it was make sure your eyelids are clean. Here's how we clean eyelids. And then heat up your eyelid. here's our warm compress to heat up your eyelid.
Interesting. So simple. Any video? You
It's
do video around that? Now if that's so good.
We had a video at the top of it, of the blog post, but I never did. I think we tested YouTube ads to like a landing page like that, but YouTube ads is too expensive.
Yeah, yeah. No, but yeah, a video at the top because that's like it. It drives the engagement. I would think. Wow. And does that rank organically at all? That page for anything related to that?
That's the beautiful thing is as you're sending this Google ad traffic to this page, Google Ads wants the click. Google wants you to find what you're searching for and go to that page for a long time. So Google measures how long you went from Google ad or from Google to this page and how long did it take you to come back. That's the game that Google is in because they want relevant things for what you're searching for. So when you click this ad, you go over here. Now there's a video at the top. You click to watch the video. The video is 5 minutes long. You watch that whole video, then you read the article. Then you click over to Amazon to buy the product. That's all taking a lot of time. And you're not going back to Google. And so Google's like, this is a great article. I need to move it up in SEO. And so then your SEO increases naturally because people are sitting on your page for longer. That's why quality content is so important. Don't just throw up something from ChatGPT. Actually look at it, make sure it makes sense. The same thing goes with your products on Amazon. Quality products will take you further than selling more products. Because if you don't have a quality product, it will get exposed eventually. Same thing with an article. Everything is the same. Google ads, Amazon ads. You just have to figure out what is Google here for? Relevant searches. What is Google ads here for? What do they want? Clicks. What does Amazon ads want? They want clicks. What does Amazon want? They want conversion rate and sales velocity. So when you understand what they actually want, then you know what to focus on and what matters. And so the granularity of your ads matter when you get down to just like reading the customer's mind because it creates a better user experience for everyone involved. And Amazon or Google is going to reward you for that with lower cost per clicks.
Great. That's great. Wow. So, hey, on another topic, are you starting any other brands? Have you started any brands or are you going to?
So the top of our funnel, or I should say the bottom of our funnel for the agency is to invest in brands. And so we're creating like a little fund and we've already invested into about 3 brands. I was starting a new brand, but we actually shut it down just because the margins weren't going to be there. The biggest thing that I'm working on right now is the software, not competing with Samurai Seller at all. We're going completely inventory management. And so that's kind of our big thing. We actually developed this in 2017 for our own brand. And then we decided to take it public this year.
That's great. And it's so interesting you're making a fund. I don't know. We also have a fund. We've for accredited investors only, and we're buying brands because it's such a great deal. You get things at 3x, 3.5x, whatever you get it at. And if it grows, I mean, that's a bunch of money. Like it's the Thrasio done right, if you can do it. So it's so interesting. I'd love to chat more about that like offline, but like, wow. So that's so cool. So I'm assuming accredited investors only and
we call it a fund, but we actually didn't raise any money yet. And what I like to do is I like to do very small investments for big portions of companies and then pour a little sweat equity in them with my team. And that's what we're doing. So we'll invest multiple times, we'll do $10,000 into multiple businesses that are very small. And we'll do multiple businesses and get like anywhere from 25 to 50% of the business as a result.
Wow, that's really micro investing.
It's very micro investing. But my thing is, if you follow the system that we teach, which is advertising, like we just talked about, the 80-20 system, Google ads, driving external traffic. And then the next 2 steps is building your audience and email list. And then step 4 is shorts. And so making short form video. When you follow those 4 steps and pretty much ignore everything else, your brand will grow and it will grow fast. And we've seen it with a couple clients that we've been working with. We've been working on the strategy with them for the last couple of years. One client was stuck at around 500,000 to $1 million for a long time. and they finally started doing short form video last fall. And they did 1 million last year, and they're on pace to do 4 million this year. That was the only thing they
Awesome.
changed. They
Wow.
just started doing short form video.
Wow. And this is around a product that has like a problem solving kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a commodity. It is a consumable. It is a vitamin,
Okay.
but there's nothing
Okay.
crazy special about the vitamin.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, educating on vitamin, that sounds like a phenomenal idea. I have something to talk about with you. For sure. Okay, now what would you do for like Zulai Kitchen? We got a lemon squeezer. What kind of like, come on, like what do you think would be like a blog post kind of ad thing?
It's very hard with commodity products to do the problem-based blog posts. And so we usually focus on product-based ones around like your products, where I think you all could add a ton of value. I don't follow your brand that closely. I follow you closely, but not your brand. So I don't know what you're doing from the Zuli kitchen side, but like video content would be huge for you all, especially short form content, and just recipes and showing people using your products. If it's UGC or you guys have an attractive character that you hire to do all those things. I'm sure you're doing that already, or are you not?
We're doing a little bit. I mean, we've started getting into the short form video in the last few months. We're doing a lot of funny videos. We are doing some recipes. We do a lot of coffee recipes, to be honest. Like a lot of like drink recipes, coffee recipes. We have a lot of that. We have like Nutella. You're gonna make like a Nutella latte, or you want to make this, or we have a lot of cool stuff. The pumpkin spice. We do a lot of drinks recipes. We don't do a whole lot of cooking recipes, but we're adding more, and we also are starting with like kind of funny content. That's been our strategy so far.
Yeah, and that's what you guys should do, is just build up a loyal following of raving fans, and just, have casually in your description in your thing, just have them go to Amazon to buy. Put like a nice attribution link in there, and you never actually push for the sale, but when people are entertained, they'll go explore your profile. And in your profile, so if you go to my profiles across Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, my description is get your free Amazon PPC masterclass at profitablepineapple.com. And so my goal is you get value from the content I'm providing. You then go look at my profile, and then you go opt into my free PPC masterclass.
We sell a pineapple core. So if you ever need you need to core your pineapples, we got you. Because if you have the profitable pineapple.
I appreciate that.
You ever need any photo shoots, we got you, man. We have you seen those things, the pineapple core? Have you ever seen one?
Do you have the one that like just goes down, or does it do something special? Does it go around?
Dude, no. It goes in. You go in the pineapple, it scoops it out, and you pull out all the meat from the inside. Yeah. Those things are amazing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it was one of the items that, you see it in action, you're like, I got to sell this thing because it's so cool. We were down in Hawaii, and we were at this big fair, this big like market, and there was, I want to say 2,000 people in this fair. It was massive. And the number one booth in the whole thing was this place making some pineapple smoothies. So they would cut out the pineapple, and they would serve you like the smoothie in a pineapple. And there was probably 300 people in the line. I mean, it was massive. And they had huge lines of pineapples, and they were in the back coring these pineapples. I went there to go look, and they had mass purchased our pineapple core. So we were represented there. I was like, guys, I need to take a picture with y'all. And they're all like twisting, coring all these pineapples. And they were all using Zulai Kitchen, and they had like even the box out there and everything. It was crazy. They're like, yo, this is your company? Like, what you talking about? You crazy, get out of here. Like, it was crazy. But, spotted in the wild kind of things I love seeing that now that we're talking about pineapples.
Yeah, that's your short right there, is you going up to them and talking to them.
Yeah, it was exactly. I think that's a great idea. So, okay, man. Well, so you have your agency, you have the masterclass, which you just talked about. How else could you service people, and like where would they find you if they want to know more about what you're doing?
Yeah, profitablepineapple.com is where you can sign up for our free PPC masterclass. I claim, and I can back this up, that it is better than any paid course that you can get out there. And I came out with this course as a result of the pain that I was going through when I was trying to find a good course to explain Amazon advertising. And Cherie Yvette was my mentor in this. She's great in this space, but Cherie talks in metaphors. And so I took her metaphors and pretty much made it practical, but she's brilliant. And so that's why it's such a good course. Like, I can't claim that I came up with all this in my head. It was just pretty much working with my mentor and applying it and seeing the results in iLove. And so it really focuses on the 80-20. The free PPC course, of course, is great for brands that are doing under 50,000 in revenue a month or less. And then once you get above that, that's when you want to start looking at hiring anyway. So you can fill out an application there. And then you can follow me on any channel, really. Just look for Dr. Travis Zigler and Zigler, and you'll find me pretty much on Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all of those. Just look up Dr. Travis Zigler.
That's great. And then setting up the nonprofit, where is that again? I know I saw that somewhere, but where? That's just on social, maybe somewhere?
Yeah.
On a link tree?
We are at capacity for doing that for clients. But if you are interested in that, you can go fill out the application. That's at profitablepineapple.com as well, or you can go to pineapplesforprogress.com. And if you're interested in doing that, I can point you in the right direction to get it done. Like I said, we're at capacity for it. We didn't even release that into the wild, and we had 20 people sign up in like 2 weeks. And so we're testing it out with these 20 people to make sure everything, we're trying to just smooth out the wrinkles before we release it again.
Makes sense. Okay, so don't do that unless you're rewatching this in 6 months from now. Awesome, guys. Well, Travis, it's been amazing to have you. It's like really good to connect, for real. Yeah, excellent. And it's been a blast. I'm so glad. Like, I feel like I got to know you so much more. Like, really, I had no idea all this stuff. So pretty impressive. And yeah, man, good to have you. Thank you. And then, what can I say? Any final words?
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. And Aaron, I just keep doing what you're doing, because even when, I'm sure running a bigger business like you are, times get tough times do get tough. And just know that you're inspiring people that you don't even know by doing what you're doing. So make sure you just keep going on. I don't see you quitting, because your tenacity is contagious. And I think what you're doing is great. So keep inspiring entrepreneurs and keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, dude, that's amazing. I appreciate it. Brother. All right. Talk later, man.